Hey guys, I'm John Setzler and welcome back to Atlanta Grill Company. Today I'm going to fire up the Alfa Wood Fired Oven and we are going to make one of the Urban Slicer Pizza Works pizzas today. We're going to do the Detroit style. So let's get started. We're going to get going on this pizza. I'm just going to dump our Urban Slicer dough mix, the entire contents of that package, right into our mixer bowl. I'm going to bring the bowl back up, crank the mixer on, and drizzle in a cup of lukewarm water. And I'm just going to let that knead on a low speed there for about 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, there's what that dough looks like after kneading it for about 10 minutes. So it's a really wet dough, which is going to be fine in this case because this is going to be a pan pizza and we don't have to worry about hand shaping that. So what I'm going to do next is I've wet my hand and I'm going to pull this dough out of our mixer bowl into a greased bowl. And I'm not going to worry about shaping any of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cover that with plastic. And we're going to proof that for, the package says 2 to 4 hours. I'm going to stick it in my proofing oven at about 85 degrees where I should be able to get 2 hours on that. But I'll let you know when we're done. If you don't have a proofing oven, which most people don't, put this inside your conventional oven and turn the light on. That'll typically bring it up to a nice proofing temperature unless your oven has an LED light. If you have a newer oven with an LED light, just turn the oven on for about, 60 seconds and then turn it off and put this in there and just let it rise. It'll be a nice warmer environment. While our pizza dough's been rising, I came out and built the fire in the Alfa, and this guy's running really nicely now. I've got about, it's running about 550 to 600, which is fine. I want to cook this pizza. I probably want to put this pizza in with a temperature of maybe 550. The packaging says to do it at 500 degrees, but I like cooking mine just a little hotter than that, and I'll be on the downswing during the cook. So we're almost ready to put that pizza in the pan, so let's go back in. Okay, I've got my 10 by 14 pan that I like to use for Detroit style pizzas, and I want to put a couple tablespoons of olive oil in the bottom of this pan, and I'm just going to use my hand that I'm going to grab the dough with and spread that out. Our dough has risen up nicely, and I'm going to roll this dough out of here into this pan, and I'm a little concerned. This dough's, like I said, this is the loosest dough I've ever tried for a pizza like this. It feels like it's too moist, but it's going to be fine. We're going to stretch this out to the edges of the pan here, and if you run into problems stretching this out, which you may in the beginning, do it as close as you can get and then just let it sit for about 10 minutes and then come back and it should stretch out. This one's almost stretching out all the way to the edge. It's just a little bit elastic, but we're going to let this rise in the pan here for another hour. So what I'm going to do now that I have that stretched out is I'm just going to cover that with a towel and let it rise for another hour. Okay, we've let this guy rest in the pan here for another hour. So now it's time to start putting this pizza together and getting it ready to cook. We like pepperoni here at the Man Cave, so that's the first thing I'm going to lay down on this pizza. And the next thing we're going to do is lay in some cheese, and we're going to lay in a lot of it. And what I've got here is a mixture of Munster, Colby Jack, and Havarti. So I've cut it up into cubes, so I'm just going to get this spread out all over this pizza. Okay, and that's looking pretty good to me. You want to make sure you get cheese all the way to the edge on this style of pizza. And now this guy's ready for the oven. So we're going to get this cook started. I'm going to toss this in, and I'm going to rotate it every 5 minutes or so until that guy's nice and brown and bubbly on top. We've been going about 5 minutes, so I'm going to spin this guy 180 degrees. You can have a look and see how well that's going there. Okay, we've been going another 5 minutes, so I'm going to pull that out and see how that's coming along. Put it right back in there. We're at about the 12.5 minute mark. We're not too far away from having this thing done, so I'm going to pull it and go ahead and flip it one more time, and I'm thinking about 2.5 more minutes, we're done. Okay, we're right at 15 minutes in on this cook, and I'm pretty happy with what that looks like. So we're going to set that here and let it rest for a second, and then we're going to sauce it. I was told by the saucing gods that you sauce this one after the cook. Just put a line right there and then another one right there. So that, my friends, is a Detroit style pizza. So I'm going to let this cool a little bit, and then I'm going to cut it open. I'm going to show you some pictures here of what this guy looks like on the edges after I take it out of the pan. And I'm serving this here for dinner tonight, so I'm going to come back after I've shown you these pictures here, and we're going to talk about this pizza. So the pizza was delicious. The Urban Slicer Pizza Worx dough mix worked fine. It was a little wet. I'm going to try that one again just to see if there's any difference from package to package, but the flavor and texture on that dough was really awesome. I'm going to show you pictures here. The first thing about this Detroit style pizza that is characteristic of this style is you have the cheese all the way out to the edge, and that cheese burns and caramelizes out there on the edge of the pan, and it's just a beautiful flavor. The edge pieces are the sought after pieces on a pizza like this, and as you can see also, I've got a nice airy crust. It's really soft, a really tender crust on this pizza, and as you can see here on the photo of the bottom, you get a little bit of frying action from the oil that we put on the bottom of the pan. In this particular example, I would like for mine to have been a little darker, a little crisper, but you get a little crispy bite on the bottom sides of this crust. I probably could have left this pizza on for a few minutes longer, so it came out beautifully. I'm totally stoked with this, so you're going to have to give it a try and let me know what you think. Until next time, this is John Sethler with Atlanta Grill Company.